How to stop stress eating. Good morning. If you are coming in, give me a hello. If you're on replay, let me know in the comments below. So in the next 3 to 5 minutes or so, I'm going to be talking about stress eating, something that comes up a lot, and simply because if we think about the whole weight loss journey, health and fitness journey, and the relationship between losing body fat and perhaps getting a health outcome or even a body transformation outcome, we know that the food element of it, and we describe this a lot with our 3 legs of a stool, which I've got somewhere near me here, which I thought I did earlier, which we talk about a lot in our Kickstart book, about nailing these 3 legs of the stool here, about the food, the fitness, the mindset. Now, when we think about comfort eating, stress eating, there's potentially 3 elements which is contributing to this. First and foremost, you've obviously got the food side of things. Now, you've got physiological hunger and you've got psychological hunger. So I first and foremost want you to consider this. Like, how are you actually feeling? Just check in with yourself. And before you go, I'm not hungry, I just want it anyway. I just want you to be aware of this. Good morning, Jill. So if we consider physical hunger, you've got hormonal changes happening right now. So you've got ghrelin, which is a hunger hormone, which is coming up super high right now. That's telling you to eat, essentially. You've then got that kind of mindset around it's a deliberate choice to eat with awareness. So I'm like, yeah, I'm hungry. I need to have this. Normally an apple would do, for argument's sake. So, you wouldn't necessarily be craving a type of food, but rather an apple would do, essentially. If someone offered you an apple, you'd have it. And I describe this like when I pick up the kids from school, I can literally have a bag of carrots in the car, apples in the car, or sweets in the car. They'll eat any of them. They're literally ravenous. A deliberate choice, eating with awareness, a sense of satisfaction after eating, no guilt, and you're feeling good. Maybe a response to rumbling tummy. And then we can start to consider here, okay, how hungry actually am I? Is my stomach feeling empty? Have I got an urge? We're becoming a bit more mindful without having to practice perhaps more structured mindfulness, maybe meditation, etc., where we maybe not there yet, although I'll come on to that later. Maybe you're feeling like you are full up, but you just want something like sweet after. And I've been there too. So my printer's just doing stuff on its own. Maybe you've actually been there too. Like I'll be honest, there's been times where I've been quite full up. I've opened the cupboard as I emptied the dishwasher, and I've seen like that's a mistake. We've got our snack cupboard in with our mugs now. So every time I go and put the mugs away, I can then see grenade bars and chocolates, all sorts of stuff in there. And it's like, am I a little bit hungry? And it's when you go into this now, okay, is that physical hunger or is it psychological hunger? And now I'm going to explain what psychological hunger is. So it makes a sudden appearance. You want a certain type of food, tends not to be an apple, right? So I'm not hungry at that time, but when I open that cupboard door, then I'm a bit like, I'm a bit bored. Let's face it, I'm emptying the dishwasher. All of a sudden now I'm in touch with my feelings there now. So I'm bored. My response is, I might just eat that to get through this emptying the dishwasher. And your brain will reward you for that. Because remember, your brain will reward you because if I'm eating, I'm no longer emptying the dishwasher at that time. Or I'm getting a bit of a sense of satisfaction at the time. But how long does that last for? It's an impulsive choice when it's psychological hunger. You eat quite quickly. Maybe you don't even enjoy the food, but you still want more. Maybe it's like sweet after salty. And then there's lots of guilt and promises about next time. And then we have to look at that. So this is step 1 in this. Put our attention on essentially how we're actually feeling at the time. Okay, is it physical hunger? Is it psychological hunger? Just so we become more aware of it. And I'm not saying this will just stop you doing it straight away, but it's about awareness. And awareness is the first step to this. Isn't a click your fingers overnight thing. This has to be worked on slowly. And when you consider fat loss, health, all of these things that a lot of people want, exercise is great, and that I'll come on to that in a second. But in terms of the calorie equation, if you can get a handle on, it's very hard to outdo the comfort eating, stress eating part of this from a calorie perspective. If people were eating like packs of biscuits, sweets, chocolate, then the wine comes out, we eat a bit more. It's hard to overcome that, okay? And if that's then holding you back, this is why this is not just an overnight fix, but actually awareness. And even if you have one day now where you're more in control, that's progress. Remember that and give yourself credit for that along the way. Now, going back to these 3 legs of the stool. So the fitness side of things is a really interesting one because it's a great coping mechanism. It's a great way to change your state, change your mood. It can even potentially help your willpower. So then we've got another aspect of this. Are we actually including exercise in some kind of plan that we have? Because I was speaking to someone the other day and they were like, yeah, I don't like exercise. I don't enjoy it, but I know I feel better after. And given a week later, after starting our Kickstart program, she's actually like, oh, I actually enjoyed that. And now that's a difference, right? Now she's enjoying it. And she won't enjoy every session. Like, absolutely not. Like, there'll be times where she's just like, oh, I just can't bother today. But if you can enjoy it a bit more than you are now and find something that you feel comfortable with, that you feel in a surrounding that you actually feel quite confident in, you're more likely to show up. And this could then impact our ability to handle stress, because exercise can change our mood and our mood impacts what we do. So already these are interlinking in. Now, just saying exercise when you're stress eating, most people will know that already. They'll know that if someone said, oh, just do some exercise, it's not that helpful advice. But there's things we can do even short term on that. Okay, so if we look at that mindset side of things, how can we improve our ability to deal with stress and how we're feeling at that time? So number 1 is awareness. Number 2 is to move and get that exercise into our routine as well. But number 3 is also to upgrade how we handle stress. And I'm not saying you have to meditate or anything like that, but we know that meditation, sleep, all these things increase or improve the function of our prefrontal cortex, which is the part of our brain which allows us to make better informed, more intelligent decisions based on where we want to be longer term. It essentially boosts our willpower so that we're focusing on where we want to be rather than the now. We're focusing on, okay, I'm going to make this choice because this is going to happen. And when you look at research, we find that prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain which pretty much develops between the ages of like 4 to 7. So if you talk to a toddler and you say, we're going to go to the park tomorrow, they don't really understand that. They're like, a bit like, no, I want to go now. Like tomorrow, they don't understand really tomorrow, that longer term side of things. Look at a Labrador. Labradors have a very small prefrontal cortex, hence why when my black lab comes down for breakfast, if I put the food down and said, actually, let's hold off breakfast a little bit for an hour, she'd be like, what do you mean? Like, no, I need it now. And then she eats it in like 5 seconds, just in case it's gone. And what happens when we're stressed and tired is we dampen that part of our brain down. And just being aware of this is key, by the way. Now, all of a sudden now we've got an idea of, okay, how can I improve my coping strategies? Can I add some meditation in? Can I do some deep breathing? Can I get out for a walk? Can I do something fun? And then we started to chat about this. And she was like, yeah, I'm not into meditation, which is fine. We do meditation. Some of the ladies love it. Some people, they're like, I've tried it before. And okay, if you're not ready for that yet, all good. Can you just dance? Put on your favourite music and dance. Absolutely, I can. Oh, yes, that's a great idea. She's like, brilliant. And just that can change her mood really quickly and easily, rather than, having to go to a session all the time, which is probably unsustainable, right? Every time you hit some stress. Now in the day, when she's working from home, which is a relatively new thing for her, last 2 years or so, with COVID and everything. So now she's like, I'm just going to put on my favourite music. I've got a new response to managing stress a bit more. Will it work every time? No. Will it work more often than doing nothing? Yes. Plus you throw in the fact she is exercising on certain days now. Plus we're tackling the physiological side of hunger, aka the protein, which lowers that hormone, ghrelin, which I talked about at the start, which is hunger. So we've got all these things coming towards us now. We're helping our coping strategies with starting off with that dancing to music when you hear that. when you feel that, being aware of how we're actually feeling now. How am I actually feeling? Where am I when I start to crave that food or stressy? Who am I with? What time is it? What's my hunger level like? What did I eat? And then even after that, just to be aware of it. Did I feel satisfied after? Yes or no? If not, what would have actually satisfied me instead? These are questions that if we can get a handle on, will make you more in control about this, and essentially then help us tackle this main goal of, I want to lose weight, I want to get fitter, I want to be healthier, I want to improve my mobility, I want to get up and down from the floor more easily, or whatever it is. Because this is almost like the tip of the iceberg there. And underneath that, we've got this side of things that is often left behind. So we jump to another diet, and then the same thing happens. It works good, and then it's done. Because we're not getting a hold of it. We're not acting based on how we want to feel. We haven't touched into that side, which is quite uncomfortable. Anyway, this is what we do in the Kickstart program. If you want more information on that, then just comment below with Kickstart or send me a message and I'll get you the details. Have an awesome Sunday and I'll see you soon. Take care.